Okay, so I need to give you guys an update. I haven't done that in quite a while. And I've been sitting here watching freaking videos on YouTube and like success stories and stuff. And that's why I've been crying because it just makes me emotional. So, anyways, let's see, where did I leave you guys the last time I filmed? Um, we had just gotten started with the process of treatments and everything. It's kind of a long story. We were being seen at one doctor, and they actually ended up closing that facility because um, I don't even know exactly the reasons, but they were no longer taking new patients. So they just kind of booted us out the door. And we had to switch facilities and start being seen at a different one. So that's kind of why I haven't filmed, because everything kind of got pushed to a pause until we got an appointment at the new facility and everything ready to go and get started. So we finally have gotten through all of that with, the new facility. I've had all my blood work done. My husband's had all his blood work done. Um, so we were under the impression, we thought that our insurance was going to cover IVF treatment. And literally, we were tomorrow scheduled for an appointment to finalize everything, sign the paperwork, and get started. And then I spoke to my insurance 2 days ago and found out that they only cover IUI. So, right now, we're just waiting on everything to get finalized as far as that goes, and then see what they're going to say tomorrow as far as the difference between IUI and IVF, because that was what the original plan was. So, just to give you guys a little bit of a recap of what's happened since we've been at the new facility, which I'm actually very thankful for because I got to meet the doctor very early on. I feel very confident in her abilities. She's very sincere, she's sweet. So I really feel like God just, made moves to have us where we needed to be. Um, because it was really strange how everything just happened, and all of a sudden we were literally scheduling to see the doctor at the other facility, and then all of a sudden they were closing down. So it was really chaotic and crazy. So, anyways, I went in, met the doctor. She put me and my husband both on a very strict, high protein fruits and vegetables, what she calls Mediterranean diet. So it's mostly fruits and vegetables, lean meat. Um, you can't have like steaks and stuff like that very often. It's mainly fish and chicken. And then your diet is supposed to consist more of fruits and vegetables than anything else. Um, we've both had to make several lifestyle changes. We are both smokers. We both have to completely stop smoking before we move into the actual procedures. I know that's a horrible habit, which neither one of us would have ever picked up on that. Um, but so the initial appointment, with all of that being laid on me, was very stressful. And, it was a lot to take in. I mean, because she's very genuine and she's nice, but at the same time, she means business. So it's like, she let me know, like, if you don't do these things, and we're not going to get good egg quality, we're not going to get good sperm quality, so there's no point in doing the procedures if you guys aren't going to do what you need to do to make sure that this is going to be as successful as it possibly can. So, we've had to make lots of lifestyle changes. Um, And then, let's see, COVID happened. We would have been a lot further along by now had COVID not happened. But thank you, coronavirus, for pushing things back even longer. It is what it is. I know that God has His plans for us and that the timing is all in His hands. So I'm not questioning any of that. I'm just going to keep a positive mindset and keep an open mind and just know that things are happening the way that they're intended to happen. So we were moving into IVF process before COVID, and we were actually scheduled for our final on, I want to say, was it March 30th? And then everything had gotten shut down. So everything ended up getting transferred over to video calls and video meetings or video appointments. So there was just not as much that could be done at that point, which, I mean, I guess is a good thing because we aren't going to be able to do IVF anyways because we just can't afford a $40,000 procedure. And yes, that was what they quoted us. I have the quote that they sent us that I could post here for you guys, just so that way if you are considering IVF, then you know the cost. I'm guessing that once everything gets processed and we're actually on the track for IUI, because they're going to have to go in and change everything, because literally we thought that we were good to go with IVF and we're not. So once they change all of that, I'm sure they will send me another, even though it doesn't come out of our pockets and insurance will cover the IUI, they still send you out like a list of how much everything is going to cost and everything. So I don't, good news, we did get good news. Also, my husband had another sperm, semen analysis done, and his last semen analysis, when we initially got started in this, a year and a half ago, was really low. It was like 6,000. And I want to say they said there were only like 5 live sperms and the rest were dead. And those live ones were seeming to try to die as well or something like that. I can't remember exactly. That could have been the very first, because his very first semen analysis maybe 4 years ago was really, really low. And that I might be confusing the two because my memory is horrible sometimes. But either way, I think that was his first one. So I think his first semen analysis he ever had done, it was like 5 that were alive total. And I can't remember the actual total count, but it was 5 that were alive. And they were all trying to die. And then a couple of years later, which was about a year and a half ago, when he had the second semen analysis done, it had improved, but it was still very low, like 6,000. And they weren't able to check like the mobility of them or anything like that. So we were kind of still like, well, what does this mean? Like, if it would have still been that low, there would have been no way we could have tried IUI, because they weren't even able to tell what sperms were good and what sperms were not good because there just wasn't enough. So this last sperm analysis, or semen analysis, sperm analysis, Lord, that's why I'm not a doctor. This last semen analysis came back and he had 10 million. Was it 10 million? 10 million or 40 million, I can't remember, but it was like 10 million, I think. And the doctor just expressed to us that she was very happy with that was definitely a huge improvement from the paperwork they had gotten from the other doctor. It was a huge difference from what it was the previous time, and that she had let us know at that point, we could try for IUI with your sperm count being this high. But do you guys want to do IUI or go straight for IVF? And us thinking that insurance was going to pay for it, we were like, no, let's just go ahead and do IVF. That's going to give us the best chances, because I want to say IUI at our age and everything and all the factors is only 20% or something like that success rate, and IVF has like a 70% success rate. So anyways, I truthfully, so that's what's been going on. We are this close to starting, whatever processes. As soon as all of this COVID has settled and they can reopen, we'll be in there getting started with our procedure. So I will definitely be recording and keeping you guys posted with that as we go through it. My thoughts are a few things about IVF that I just wasn't very sure on. As you guys know, if you've followed me or watched my other videos on my channel, I just was kind of very standoffish against fertility treatments for a while because of religious reasons. I just wasn't sure, like, is this right to do? Like, is it I mean, obviously it's not natural, but is it in God's will for people to do things like this? I just struggled with that a lot. Like, is this something that God would look at as okay, or would he look at it as wrong? That type of thing. And through it all, though, I've prayed a lot and I've talked to God, and I truly believe that he gives us the wisdom to, doctors the wisdom to be able to do these things for a reason, and he wouldn't have put everything in place the way, like, everything wouldn't have been in place the way that it has, and like fallen in place the way that it has if it wasn't meant for us, so I truly believe that. But with IVF, you can have your eggs tested. You can know the gender. You can know, they do this to make sure, it's genetic testing that they do, to make sure that you're not going to have a Down syndrome baby or a baby with any, what is it called? What is that? What is that chromosome disorder where you could possibly have a stillbirth or a miscarriage later on. And I struggled with that. My husband was automatically like, well, I just feel like, we're to this point, like, obviously, like, we're where we need to be to continue the process of trying to have children and everything. So I just feel like since we're already doing this part of it, we should just go ahead and have these tests done. And my whole point is that I'm kind of excited now because we don't have to worry about that part of it, because with IUI, that's not part of it. They will just go through his sperm and take the best ones out and inject those into my cervix. So it's not as invasive. It's not going to be, I was also concerned because I've had 3 surgeries just for my endometriosis, and I've had other surgeries in my life, and I don't like being put to sleep. It scares me. Plus, it really affects your brain cells. Some people don't believe that, but it really does. Every time I've ever had a surgery, I feel like I wake up stupider. I know that seems insane, but with the IVF, they were going to put me under anesthesia, and I did not really want to do that. I'm more about like the all natural, let me do this and just deal with the pain. Like, I can deal with it. I don't need the medications and all that stuff. Obviously, I couldn't have somebody cut on me, but anyways, I'm rambling at this point. So I am excited that we don't have to worry about the testing and stuff like that. It'll all be in God's hands. You know, the we're just it's just gonna be a little. The sperm just needs a little bit of help to reach the egg, and that's basically what the IUI procedure is. So again, I will keep you guys updated. If y'all want to continue to follow our journey, like and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, God bless, and I will see you all soon.